Hi folks, Jobblock Comics here, another spooky Halloween style comic book for you to look at. One I'm not familiar with at all. I've only got a couple of these. It's Red Circle Comics Group, which seems to have something to do with Fawcett. You see up there on the top right. This is from 1975, Red Circle Comics, who did a few kind of, I'm sure there was a Red Circle Sorcery comic as well. It's got a great cover here. There's a kind of vampire type hunter. That looks like Basil Rathbone in Sherlock Holmes, doesn't it? And this one seems to be a vampire hunter in jolly old England, which is across the border from Scotland. And I refuse to talk about them. So this is Madhouse here. Again, it's a typical sort of 70s anthology horror. The story is by Marvin Channing. Who is Marvin Channing? And it's called The Vampire Hunter. There's Frank Thorne doing the artwork. And you can see there's a kind of Sherlock Holmes fighting vampires type story, which is ultra cool, even if it isn't England. So again, I don't know enough a lot about these. You never see them, you never pick them up. I very rarely find these even at comic arts and comic shops and things. Really, there's not an awful lot to talk about that. There's Marv Channing again, and Gray Morrow doing the artwork on this little piece of essays into the supernatural. It's about zombies. Then we get our second story here, and it's called Cellar Dweller. Cellar Dweller, you gotta love that. There we go. And again, these are really nice comics to look at. They're so unusual. They're so rare to find. If you happen to stumble across any of these, just buy them. Buy them and check them out. This issue here is really pretty good. I like the art. I like the style. There's that comic I was talking about, Red Circle Sorcery. Yeah. I would have to have a wee look online and see if I could find out more information about these. But you know, I'm a kind of lazy comic collector guy. I ain't looking anything up. Heaven's Not for Losers. Here's the third story. You've got Ralph Alonso and Al Williams doing the artwork in this. Is incredible. Look at this. Isn't it great? Kind of reminds me of Charlton. Yeah, where you get these top artists and writers, you know, doing their own thing on these comics because there was no editorial control. I wonder if it was the same thing here with Red Circle Comics. Here's a little kind of sci-fi thing by Marvin Channing, who just writes everything. I bet Marvin Channing's not his real name. And then we get another little story at the end here. Gray Morrow did the editing. There's Marv again, and Carlos Pino doing some glorious 70s artwork. So anyway, there you have it, gang. I look at a really lost line of comics. Madhouse number 97. This comic can't have ran for 97 issues. I would venture that it was an old comic that had been taken over and renumbered to save them some money. There we go. Fabulous stuff. If you see them, pick them up. If you know anything about them, let me know. Hope you enjoy looking at this. More to come later today. See you soon. Subscribe.